Hey, that's
Somebody might
copyright
appreciate
infringement.
that.
Is there copyright on that?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We get
Be all right.
sued?
No, it'll be all right. What's going on,
Matrix
man?
Money Tuesday. Welcome everybody. We have a special guest. We got Hot Crypto over here. How you
Yes,
doing,
sir.
What's
Oh,
going
that's
on?
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's funny.
I didn't think you'd mind without the copyright.
I don't care. I don't care. It'll probably, it's funny because YouTube's really good at like reporting it. So if
Yep.
it shows up, I'll just hit allow. It doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
We're gonna get
It happens a lot. It happens out quite often. You'll see like people will take snippets of our videos and then put them on their channels, and then YouTube will come back to us and say, "Hey, did you allow this?"
Yeah.
And yeah, it happens quite often.
Wow. Well, hopefully I didn't just give you another thing yet to figure out.
No,
Sorry about that, man.
That's all good.
Let's see who's in the house. Gaming for Fun, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Tech Man, all the way from Vegas. Kyle, welcome.
Welcome. Something going on in Vegas right now?
No, Techman's. I know Techman's there for family. I think so.
Oh, okay.
Automatic Beats. Mike, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Let's see who we got here. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anybody here. Oh, Yeti's in the house. Welcome,
we
sir.
had a great talk with Yeti last week. That was amazing.
Yes, we did. Yes,
What's
we
up,
They just
Yeti?
did.
unveiled a bunch of stuff at their Dynex show.
Yeah, that was yesterday. They kind of released all that info. Yeah. And Sadie, welcome,
Hey,
Sadie.
Sadie.
Appreciate you. All right. So, Hawk,
What's up?
for those who don't know you, which I doubt there's anybody in this current stream here that doesn't, give them the 411.
Oh, they know. Everybody in here knows. But yeah, no. So you guys know I'm Hot Crypto in Tech now. I moved away from
And
the
tech.
Hot Crypto mining because I didn't want to be pigeonholed to just the mining content, because it's going to be hard pressed to see if mining really does make an extraordinary comeback this year or next year. So we'll see. But everybody pretty much knows who I am. Hey guys, so I'm just here to kind of hang out for a little bit, and hopefully I get a break between this stream and mine at 9. So which I'm like scheduling right now as I'm talking to you. So.
Oh goodness. Well, Jar, if you got anything,
Yeah.
go
Well,
ahead.
okay. So, like, the first question I'm going to have right now is, when did you get started in crypto, and how did you get started in crypto? Because for me, and most people I talk to, it was just around the pandemic. Everyone's at home. They're trying to figure something out. Elon's tweeting about Dogecoin, and people are freaking out and making quick money. So, is that sort of the same story with you, or did something else get you in that?
So I started. So I was, you guys know, I was a police officer full time for a while, like 8 years. I'm sorry, I'm putting out a tweet for all of us right now. And so what I had to leave because my family, I had a family thing with my family's business, and I said, okay, so I left law enforcement full time, went to go work with the family business, but I was in the middle of trying to figure out starting a new company. So I was sitting on my couch one night, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm just trying to figure out ways to make passive income. And Seb Heslow's video pops up about Flux.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this crypto mining stuff? Dude, it has not stopped since that day I found it. I mean, I went down the rabbit hole so bad.
Wave.
Yeah, a week later, I ordered a rig, and that was it. So
it just sucked you in.
It did, man. It did. And then I started doing it in the garage, watching videos, and I was like, oh, I can make a YouTube channel and do this too. And then it kind of just took off from there. And then I think about 3 or 4 months later, DJ Minds found me, and then that's how I got introduced to everybody. I met Chump Change. Chump put me into Misfits, and then now we're here.
Okay. All right. How many years ago was that now?
It was the end of 21.
Oh, in 21.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
That was roughly the same time I got involved too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Been jumping around then. And so you do a lot of you started off with GPU mining. I just saw the last video you put out about it being dead.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
A lot of content creators are trying to, bring hope. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone for right now.
So like when we're talking about breathing new life into GPUs, if there's any at all, is the biggest pivot right now going to be with AI and some kind of play with that?
I think so because with AI, man, we have, as GPU miners, we have all this hardware laying around, right? And it's not going to cost you tons to pivot. However, with AI, the 4090s are king right now. So yeah, you can do it with budget cards like 4060s or 4070 Ti Supers, but if you want to make any real money, you got to get into the 4090 game. But I mean, I've seen people make great money with 3060 12 gig cards that we had a lot from Ethereum days, and you can do well with that. But yeah, I think the pivot right now is going definitely towards machine learning and AI, 100%. I mean, I have a rig on Vast right now. It does $25 a day for four 4090s. I mean, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to make anything right now with GPUs. Mostly, and you know what? I also think it's starting to follow the same with when it comes to ASICs, because as soon as you have a home miner and everyone picks up that home miner, there's a big boy that comes out like the KS0, and then also the KS3 drops, and then it just obliterates the difficulty. Right. And then we're in the same boot, right? So running into the same issues with like a lithium and Radiant and anything else that follows.
Yeah, Caspa ASICs, man. I just got off the phone before. That's why I'm a little late, as well as I had a customer call wanting to purchase Caspa ASICs. And he's like, what's your opinion on this? And I'm like, I said, how much time you got? And
right.
We were talking about it. And I just said, hey, man, like it's not a great investment. It's very risky. And you just got to really like, what are you trying to accomplish? You know what I mean? What do you? I mean, are you trying to make passive income? I don't recommend buying Caspa ASICs. Are you trying to mine as much Caspa as you can in hopes that it pumps during a bull run? Okay, I mean that is a play, but you're going to be paying that power out of pocket. Yeah. Pretty soon once those KS5 Pros go not profitable. I mean, the KS5L I sold 3 months ago for $5,000 or better. Right, makes a penny a day right now.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's insane. That's
also the price is not helping very much either right now with it. Too.
Right.
Well, and his mic with the 4090 price right here.
Yeah. 4090s are overpriced. I mean, if you like, I get them from Best Buy. You can get them for like sub $1,800, $1,900. So if you buy it like on Amazon, you're going to get slapped $2,200, $2,300, $2,400. I mean, it just is what it is. But they stopped. What I did hear, I don't know if you guys heard it. They stopped production on the 4090s. So I didn't know that. Yeah, NVIDIA stopped production on them. So I think that's just I think there's a lot on the market currently.
Yeah,
and I think they're just trying to get rid of it. They said they paused it. I don't know, but we'll see.
It also they could be releasing another series, right?
They could be. I think the 5090 is going to come out next year.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't think a 4090 Ti will come out like we saw in the 3090. I don't know. I mean, the 4090 is such a beefy card, and then you look at the 5090 specs that were leaked. It's at least 50% more powerful. I mean, it's insane. My question is, how big are these graphics cards going to get? Like, you know what I mean?
It's the size of a computer now, right?
Yeah, it's just going to be its own little box and just run a wire like that eGPU system. So,
and the power consumption too, that's also creeping up there.
Yeah, no, it's going to be up there. 600 watts. I'm hearing on the 5090. 600 watts.
That's insane. Yeah.
What's the question? Has it given me any power issues?
Yeah. Problems on power connectors.
Not really. I have the MSI Slim 4090, so I haven't had any issues at all with my, knock on wood. I have them in an Octo server currently on Vast, so no, not really. I mean, at Terra we run about 70 of them, and they run fine. We bought custom cables as well, so they're running fine. We're pretty good. I haven't had an issue with a 4090 yet. I would say they're made well. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
Appreciate you being here, Chris.
Damn.
And then Dan saying I got lucky. Got the first batch of K7 almost 2 years ago.
Damn.
Oh, nice.
Still making money.
Yeah. What's up, Dan? The K7 is a great machine. The 63, I think, which one you got, Dan? 58 or 63? If he's got the 63, he's doing good, and even the 58's doing well. And that's one of the other ASICs that has kept its profitability, like the L7, right? And if you look at ASICs, the L7 has not lost profitability the entire bear market, and whether it's down to $3-4 a day doesn't matter. It's not losing money, right? It's not losing money. That's the point.
Yeah.
And I had a client say, "Hey, I want to make." He's got the 63. Nice. He goes, "Hey, I want to make passive income, and I got a boatload of money to spend. What do you recommend?" I'm like, "Ugh." I said, "Well, how about this? Let's jump on a call like this, like a video call. Let's break down the numbers and let me show you." He ordered 25 L9s, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, if it's at $17 a day now, bull run, it's going to be 50,
Yeah.
60 like the L7. And the L7 is a 3-year-old machine still making $7-8 a day.
That's insane.
So,
yeah, you don't see
you
that
know,
anymore. Especially
you don't see it. You don't see it. You know, and there's a lot of other projects like that too, like, you know, Zcash and, you know, the Z15s that they're not making lots of them and they remained profitable. You just got to know where to look. So, some are estimating dual high power connectors for a few higher end 5090s. Yeah, maybe. I mean, 600 watts I'm hearing that's a lot, man. Like, gone are the days where 1,000-watt power supply in your computer will cover everything.
Yeah.
You're going to need like I mean, I play it safe even with my rigs. If I have an open airframe for 4090s, 1,600 watt power supplies. It's just get the high end ones, get the EVGA ones if you can.
Yeah.
And they're great. And there's enough capacitors on an EVGA power supply that if you have a power blip, it'll stay on like that couple milliseconds. It'll stay on while the power blips. Because I've had it happen. My computer is also on a UPS, but before that, the power would flicker during like storms. And here in Florida, and my computer would stay on.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
Something that I realized about EVGA. I was going to bring up the L7 next with bells that hasn't turned off yet. I don't think it turned off or taken off. Bells is going to be one of those, you know, what's going to happen with it. If you look at the market cap of bells, it's kind of low. Sorry, I'm rambling. If you have questions, just ask. Just tell me to shut up.
I told them in the comments, go ahead, just pop their questions in here. Right now, it's just a bunch of kind of you talking and they're jumping on in here. With Sadie, I'm just trying to read ahead here.
Yep.
Yeah, bells is going to be like a little bit of a roller coaster. So when you have you're a co-owner or the owner of Terra Hosting.
I'm co-owner. I found the company with Mike from GPU Risers.
Okay.
And then it was me and him originally because I had the hosting facility in my warehouse. I don't know if you remember those videos.
Yeah.
And then Mike and I partnered up, and then Mining King came a couple months later, and then we built Terra, all three of us together. And then from where we are now. Then Frank came in about a year ago.
Okay, because one of the interesting things I like what you're doing over there is you're not just focused on ASICs. You got the GPUs, and you're not just focused on GPUs. Now you're getting into the AI and everything else. So you're blending it out there.
Right.
When it comes to like the strongest suit, which one's actually winning in terms of customers that are fleeting in?
So for as far as AI goes, we don't host AI machines for anybody. That's all self-hosted for Terra. Okay. GPU mining is dwindling down. We went from a farm of like 2,000 GPUs. Now we're down to probably going to be under 1,300. And that's just because of the state. You know, people are selling their stuff. GPU mining is not great, you know, and all that stuff. Oh, let me put myself in focus. I just realized I was out of focus. So, so it just depends. Now the AI stuff, pound for pound, beats all of them combined. One GPU could make as more than some of the high-priced ASICs. As far as AI goes, or machine learning, because it's not true AI yet. But we're on a private platform. I can't mention the platform, but we're on a private platform that we rent the compute to, and they stay up. You know, as long as the power doesn't go out during hurricanes and stuff, they stay up. So and they stay rented, which is important. So yeah, it's great. I mean, the AI stuff is great. I mean, we're still early. And there's the demand for compute based on a lot of our research that we're doing as a company is only going to 10x from here.
Yeah.
So there's not enough data centers. There's not enough things to go around. And Terra is not just Terra's not a mining company. We're a hosting provider. Yes, that's one facet. And then you have Terra Marketplace. You have Terra Compute, which is the AI portion, which has not been fully brought out yet. And then you have Terra Hash. So
what's Terra Hash?
Just the ASIC sales and merch sales and stuff.
Sales, right? Yeah.
It's been and shout out to Yeti too, real quick. I want to give a shout out to Yeti because Yeti was with us when we first started Terra. Yeti helped us out a lot. Unfortunately, Yeti had some other things that he had to take care of and go, so he had to part ways. But we still remain in a tight relationship with him, and Yeti's still a great dude. So
yeah, Yeti's
awesome.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So
had a great talk with him last week.
a lot of these crypto mining companies or even hosting providers, they forget what business they're in. And you're in the energy business. So once we realized what real business we're in, you know, then it made it easier because now it's, you know, we're building a brand new site. I had to keep a lot of it under wraps because competition does watch and they try to follow, and it does happen. I'm not trying to say we're like the biggest guys on the block because we're not. But we have a lot of good stuff going, and we're building an actual tier 3 level type data center. So that's on another level than we've ever imagined.
Yeah.
So
like you also mentioned that you're in Florida, so you're in that hurricane zone and everything else is happening. How hard is it to keep things online during that season? Is there issues?
It can get tough. I mean, it just depends on the like the data center doesn't really lose power because it's got 2 redundant power inputs coming from different directions.
Got it.
But during a hurricane, if there's a blip, it does happen, but it doesn't happen for very long. We just installed brand new site UPSs. So, so we shouldn't have a problem anymore. It's just a slow growth. Terra's still in the startup phase. So
yeah,
it just, it's going to take a little while. It takes a lot of money. A lot of people try to start hosting companies and, with $100,000, $200,000 like we did, and we almost failed. We almost had we were like 2 weeks from closing the doors at one point. And then, Frank kind of came in. And it was just a godsend at one point. He kind of came in. He says, "Hey, I like what you guys are doing. I want to help you guys take this to the next level." And then we went from a couple 100,000 to, you get up into the M's. So it works that way, and it's great. It's been a blessing. We've been working really, really hard. So yeah, it's good. So.
I mean, to me, it would seem like it would be something that would be an exponential growth. I'm surprised to hear you say that you are that close to closing doors. That's insane.
Yeah, because what a lot of people don't expect is, a lot of things that people don't expect is the unexpected, right? Like $50,000 to replace an AC unit, right? That's a huge chunk of change.
Yeah,
unexpected costs and relates to the building or the company, or something happens with a rig and we have to, we have to purchase all this extra stuff. I mean, if you're going to budget to build a company, and this is something that I've learned in the last 2 years, if you're going to budget to build a company, whatever number you come up with, double it, because it's really like that. Wow. It's really like that. And, we were close, man. We were close. It was very close. When I started Halt Crypto Mining and did my own hosting during Ethereum, I went 180,000 in debt. I just paid off those credit cards 2 years later.
Wow.
But that's the kind of risk that you need to take.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna go all in, don't half-ass, and so, Yeti says, Hawk, I would say 4 times whatever you're thinking to give yourself breathing room. Yeah, a 4X would be nice. I mean, if we had double the money, we would have probably made it through the storm a little bit, so to speak. But every new company and every new hosting company, everyone trying to do what we're doing, and it's great. And there's plenty to go around. And I'm friends with a lot of our competitors. I don't really care to be out there and start bashing other people because it's just not worth my time.
Yeah.
A lot of them, I tell them, a couple of them called to ask for advice. I said, "What's your budget?" And they tell me their budget. I said, "Double it immediately or don't do it." I'm telling you, because I had one guy do it, and unfortunately, he didn't make it. He didn't read his electric bill correctly. Didn't understand the rates, didn't get a PPA locked in, so that once they raise those rates, that's it. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
They're holding the gold. The power companies hold the gold. You can't do anything about it. So having these things in place, we learned the hard way. Having these things in place are essential to success for crypto miners or crypto mining hosting companies. Once you get to scale. You know what I mean? Terra's plans right now for the next year is to go to 40 megawatts. That's insane.
That's huge.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And right now we're about 4. So you just got to kind of, and that plan going forward, we learned it was like the first megawatt of stuff was the hardest to achieve. Now
it starts rolling from there.
It starts rolling from there.
Yeah. It comes down to credibility of what you're doing and also the market itself, right? If you time the market bad and you're just in the winter cycle and then you're trying to grow at the same time and just trying to get credibility and customers, that's like the hardest hurdle. I started Node Factory, which is what we're doing right now is we take expensive miners and what we do is we split it down into shares and we sell the shares to individuals. Okay. And we manage it, we host it and do everything else. But now we're partnering up with different companies to host that part. And the idea is it's completely managed on our side and the customer just gets a payout from their shares, but they actually own the ASIC itself. Their share is also the ownership of the ASIC itself. And then when we go on to a bull cycle and we're looking at selling it, we sell the ASIC itself, get the proceeds go to the owners.
Right.
So it's an interesting thing, but like you're talking about budgeting and paying things up front and that whole pain that goes along with it.
It's a
It
lot.
gets very expensive very quickly.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's a lot of lessons to learn. So we're in the middle of that right now.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much actually really goes into it. And, you know, and that's just it's either adapt or die, so to speak. Right. Like you're going to run into hurdles starting a business. And for me, I gave everything I had into it. So everything I had liquid cash went into Hawk, and then whatever else I had left went into Terra. Yeah. And, and still and just, I'll be honest with everybody, we've been up for over 2 years now. We're not pulling full paychecks yet. And that's how long it takes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I can believe that.
If I didn't have YouTube in the community and I didn't have my family business, these two things that are essential for me, it'd be hard to pay the bills. Like it would just be that way. And a lot of people are not in those positions to do stuff like that. Yeah. So it's, I have to work essentially almost 3 jobs to make things pass. On YouTube's been great for me. I've made money. I've made a lot of people, met a lot of people with YouTube, and my family business has helped carry me. So it's, I was lucky. I had an out. You know what I mean? A lot of people try to start businesses with 9 to 5s, and it's difficult. It's difficult, dude. And then I have a kid that runs around all day at home. Like while I'm trying to sit here and do this, like he's banging on my door right now.
Like I know exactly what that's like.
Yeah, it's just, Sadie asked an interesting question.
I was going to bring it up. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. What has been the most surprising part of starting data centers hosting? Surprising? How many people are actually willing to host is insane to me. Because you look at it from like a dollar perspective of being a crypto miner. And I have guys right now that are hosting at a loss. And they're just paying power and they're collecting the Bitcoin. I said, what's the secret, guys? What do you guys got going on? Like what, and one guy told me, he's like, well, they were at a loss. I mean, Bitcoin's up now, so I'm probably sure they're fine now, but they were at a loss for a little while. And they're like, well, man, honestly, we're going to mine as much Bitcoin as we can. And then in the bull market, we're going to sell the machines at a premium.
Okay. Yeah.
I said, oh, okay. And I started to understand this model and why people mine at a loss. That was probably one of the most surprising things, especially GPU mining clients.
It's also a risk too, like because you're just making an assumption that these machines will still be profitable.
Exactly. And a lot of people. Yeah. Another thing that I found out is a lot of clients like to do what's called tax loss harvesting. I don't know if you've ever heard about this.
Yes.
And it's completely legal. Their companies buy machines. They pay a service fee for the machines and they write them off on their companies to tax loss harvest. So at the end of the year, they collect the Bitcoin. They got to, they call whatever CPA they have, and then they write off the loss. So there's a lot of people that do that. And at the end of the year, you see a lot of people making purchases too. So it's
that's an accounting play. I don't really know too much about that.
Yeah, that's an account like Mike, GPU Risers, he's a tax attorney.
Okay.
So Terra doesn't make a move anywhere without legal representation and clarity on the issue. Like right now, we're getting ready to look at releasing our own pool. We've been studying this for 3 months to see if there's any regulatory issues that would come forward with that. And Mike is like, he's a great attorney. He looks into every facet of everything to limit our liability.
Okay.
And it's
also like just running a pool and remaining profitable is almost impossible. Like it just seems like they're coming around and they keep closing the doors. It's just the premium and the percentage that people are expecting when you're hosting a pool. It's so fine and minute, and to have staff or anything else to maintain it. It's going to be, well, in my perspective, when I was researching it, it just seemed like really hard to stay above water.
It is. No, it is. The pool is not going to be something that we're looking to make tons of money on. It's going to be more of a benefit for clients because we're going to cut the fees, right?
Yeah.
Large scale clients.
Of your ecosystem then, right? Because you seem
it'll be part of our ecosystem. So right now, I'm probably going to get yelled at, but right now we're building a back-end system, custom back-end UI system that integrates every part of Terra. This stuff takes a long time to build.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of money. I mean, you're talking about programmers that are $500-$600 an hour. Yeah. So I mean, it gets crazy. And Yeti will attest to this. It takes a lot of time to build a back end system that integrates every part. If you're a crypto miner, if you got nodes with us, if you're, whatever, you're hosting some stuff on the side that, that's custom, to integrate all of that, pay your bills, contact support, all that, man, that's like a centralized system that just needs its own server rack. So it's like to build that is rough, and that's going to take some time. But right now it's kind of number 3 in line because the new facility construction is underway. So that's the first thing. We got to get this site live. We're trying to do it by Thanksgiving, huh?
By Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, I was saying that's got to be your focus. That's got to be the lead.
It has to be. It has to be right now. I mean, it's yeah, man. I mean, I'm kind of rambling, but it's
no, that's all right.
There's a lot of things that come into play with doing this, and it's been great, man. Honestly, it's been a wild ride, though. It's been a wild ride. It gets political, like you wouldn't believe in certain cities that we wanted to build in. I mean, it's then you get in the national spotlight a little bit, and then it's like, one of your owners was on Newsmax. Well, I don't like Newsmax, and then there goes the deal.
How did that even happen? Like how did you get on Newsmax, and how did that, like, was that just a natural transition from the
owner of Newsmax is a family friend.
Okay.
And Newsmax is a traditionally conservative platform, and they've been so for 30 years. They didn't dive into finance too much. They never really did. Like Fox has Fox Business. There's no Newsmax business.
Right.
What I think they're trying to do now is appeal to our generation and younger generations, and they want to do crypto. So you guys have heard of Miss Teen Crypto.
Yeah.
She's been on Fox Business with Charles Payne, and she's great at what she does. And then people like Dennis Porter, you know who Dennis Porter is?
Yes.
Okay. So when Newsmax came up to me and said, "Hey, we want to create a crypto corner. We want to do a show. Do you have anybody you recommend?" Those were the first 2 people I called. So we're starting. I like to think I'm involved with it. We're starting to build a crypto show-like atmosphere around Newsmax, and they're using me to lead the charge a little bit, but with other people that are coming in. And you should see some of the opposition that goes on TV with me. It's hysterical.
Really?
And it's so funny. It's such old money and old way of thinking that it's cringe sometimes, and I got to sit there on national TV and just and but it's great. It's great. And just to be a part of the community and build with everybody is awesome. So yeah, Newsmax, he asked me if I wanted to be on TV, talk about Bitcoin. I said, sure. I drove to their Boca Raton location because that's where one of their headquarters is at.
Okay.
Yeah. And man, was I nervous. And I was on primetime TV, national TV for the first time, and just like, all right, man, here you go. Here's the room. There's this giant light, cameras right here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, like, don't say anything stupid, please. Like, don't say nothing.
Great, though. That's a different world.
Don't freeze.
Don't freeze.
Yeah.
And it's been great. It's been great. I mean, I covered BTC Nashville for them when Trump was going to speak. They called me. Apparently something happened, and Trump took about 45 minutes to come on stage. So they're like scrambling to try to get somebody on the air to just talk and take up the segment.
Yeah.
So they're calling me, hey, can you come back on the air? And I'm in a Terra shirt. Like, I'm there for the company at the expo. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm on my iPhone, okay, in the middle of a crowd of people, all right, with my ear pods in. And my iPhone's like this. Yeah. I'm on national TV through Zoom.
Wow.
On my iPhone. And
that's hilarious.
And she's texting me. They're texting me like, hey, can you just, keep it going? Just, we're trying to buy time. I was like, yeah, let's go. So I got into this huge debate with the guy that was taking over the host for the show about why we need this. And I mentioned Caspa on national TV and all this other stuff. And I'm just trying to keep it going. You know what I mean? So it was good. It was good, man. It was good.
That's a great
Sorry, I don't know if you can hear him running around.
That's okay.
All right.
And Yeti's feeling your pain here.
Oh yeah. He called me when he went live. He had a huge opportunity. I think it was the Binance interview. Was it Binance, Yeti? I think there was a couple different ones. But he went live, and he's like, what do you do? I'm just like, just don't even think there's a camera there. Just don't say nothing stupid. Like, it's just, I was seriously worried about it because I'm like, I don't have stage fright. I can get in front of people. I can talk to anybody. But when there's millions of people watching you at one time, And it's like, this is like next level news. You know what I mean? And I'm just
Yeah.
like, crap, like, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was nerve wracking. It was, I mean, don't get me wrong. I what's up, Amy?
Welcome, Amy. Crypto Billy.
I got in there, and it's so funny because you walk in and like he knew I was like nervous, and he's like, "Hey man, you want a cigarette or something?" Like, you calm down. And I'm like, "You guys do that?" He goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "A lot of people get stage fright," and I was like, "It's not uncommon for people to have a drink before they go." I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "We don't do it, but certain guests will do it." And I'm like, "Oh okay." And I didn't do any of that. I was just like, "All right, let's go." You know, so
Yeah, Walker reminded me no F-bombs.
yeah. Just be careful because we know we're all genuine people. We try to just talk the way, screw this, F that, who cares? This project sucks. You can't do it on TV. What's up? Amy says I'm a natural. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. Although you could see my heart going through my shirt like this.
Pounding, right?
Yeah, he told me they zoomed in on my face because he says I could see your I could see your shirt moving.
Wow.
Oh, I was so nervous, dude. I was the first time I was so nervous. Now I just do it from here and I'm like,
yeah,
come on, let's go.
Especially if you're at home in your own space, it's got to be a lot easier, right?
I do it. I do Newsmax right here now. Like
that's perfect.
If they need me at the studio for a panel, I'll drive 30 minutes and go.
Yeah.
I'm not paid to do it, for the record. I just do it because it's the exposure, and I've gotten a lot of new people that follow me.
100%. That's huge.
And get into it. Yeah. So it's great. It's great. And that's why I started doing a little bit more political stuff, like watching the debates and stuff, with the Bitcoin price on my channel, because I kind of now tie them both a little bit, and
that's good. That's good.
A lot of people don't want to get political, and I understand that. But if you don't think crypto is political now, then I got oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you.
Yeah, truth.
It's very political now. It's more political now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
So
they're so intertwined, and any comment that one of them makes can completely change the market. So yeah. And we saw that with Nashville, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, Trump,
Bitcoin, and Trump just going at it, right? So
yeah, Trump is very, very pro Bitcoin. We saw the left, go, we don't know, and then all of a sudden Trump said it, and now they want to do it. They're just copycats, which is why they're losing. So,
I want to see what Kamala's going to do right now, because there's a lot of murmurs coming out that she's trying to create some sort of framework,
Yes. Yeah, I'm using my air quotes. Framework. Yeah.
She's listen. Look, I have nothing personal or mean to say about a candidate. It's unprofessional. But
I should say I'm in Canada, so none of this stuff matters. Really.
Oh, are you really? Oh, you got your own problems, man. You better vote for Pierre, because you're going to be in trouble.
Lot of problems up here.
You guys got your own heat. Panda is one of my best friends. I talk to Panda every day. Me, Panda, Chump, King, Max. We're in a group chat. We talk to each other every day, all day long.
Yeah.
And the Canadians need Pierre you need Pierre to win that election so bad, because Justin Castro ain't doing it for nobody. Sorry. If you don't think that's Fidel Castro's son, I got more property.
I saw the side by sides. Yeah,
that's it. That's tu papa, bro. That's your dad, dog. That's not. Nah, man. You ain't getting me. You ain't getting me. Your mom did some shady shit back in the 70s.
Well, there's a lot of rumors.
It's true. It's 100% true. Come on, look at him.
Something else. Anybody but JT is gonna do a better job right now. I can't handle it right now.
Yeah, I really do think Pierre is the best for your country, and when Canada does well, US will do well, and vice versa.
Yeah, it works out. The only problem is it all talk, right? Because Pierre is really natural when it comes to he mimics Trump. In my opinion, he's mimicking Trump with name calling and everything else.
Right, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks "Make America Great Again" is just an American thing. If you look worldwide, what's up, Yusuf? If you look worldwide, okay?
Yeah.
Trump started this huge movement worldwide. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Europe went conservative for the first time in 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hong Kong is rioting. China, they have riots.
Yeah.
People are going against look, I'm going to rant for this for an hour. People are going to go, they're going against all the totalitarian stuff and trying to get more to comments and stuff. Trump's got a big mouth. It's not a secret. But he's just an arrogant businessman from New York. I'd rather have him, because he knows that. And now you got Elon Musk, you got RF Kennedy, you got Tulsi Gabbard, you got people from the left and the right united with him. Oh, dude, this is going to be a landslide election of monumental proportions. I say he gets to 320, 330 easily.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
100%.
this is the thing. I agree with a lot of things that you're saying. I think I'd rather have an asshole that's speaking his mind and being true to what he's saying, whether you like it or not, at least you know what you're getting, versus someone with some other mysterious background, being politically correct all the time, not really sure where they're actually going to end up with. It's a little bit deceiving. And that's when it comes to Pierre. He's saying a lot of the right things, but I don't know if he has ulterior motives and everything else that goes along with it. So
here's something that was a major deciding factor for me. I don't know. Do you guys have children?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that's great. And I feel for you. I have one and I'm just tired all the time. But here's one of the things that made me really decide when it came to the election is Kamala Harris has no kids, no grandkids. She has no immediate family other than her close ones and her husband and her husband's daughter, who I don't know what she identifies as. Trump has 5 grandchildren with five kids of his own and 5 grandchildren, all successful, all smart, all in school. None of them are smoking crack in the White House bathrooms. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I look at it from this perspective.
Yeah.
He's gonna want a better world for his grandkids. The guy loves his grandkids, right? So he's gonna do what he thinks is right to protect their future. That's all I need to know voting in the election. That's all I need to know. Because if you really think about it, when you start sending childless people that don't have any reason or anything to hand over for the next generation, like literally to their own offspring, I'm not believing anything they say. My mom always told me something: be careful of a woman that doesn't want to have kids. She always told me that. Hey, that's your decision. If you don't want to have kids, that's fine. No judgment. But my mother always said, be careful of a woman that doesn't want to have kids. I see that with the election. That scares the shit out of me. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's some true words right there.
Anyway.
I mean, that's what brought me into the space. A lot of the way was,
Really?
trying to put some money aside for my grandkids. I tell everybody I'm not going to get anything out of this bull run, but my grandkids, they've got their tantrum cards put aside, and you know what? When they're old enough, there you go.
No skin
exactly.
In the game.
Amy makes a point. She's got no skin in the game.
Yeah, no skin in the game.
Exactly.
She has nothing to lose. You got nothing. You don't have to worry about the future or what policies you enact or what sort of division you make for the future generations, because you have no future generation.
She just made a good point about his kids absolutely love him. A lot of people will say they love their parents and everything else. Like I'm talking about celebrities and everything else like that. And you can sort of see through their words. It seems very genuine when it comes from his kids. They want to see him do well. They want to see him lead properly. And they don't always agree with it. And they say what they're saying. Again, it comes down to transparency. And I think when you speak from the heart and you speak with honesty, that immediately translates all the way through to the person that you're speaking to, and it resonates. And it's going to come through. I don't know if we have it up here. That's all I'm saying. Up here in Canada, it's not. Everyone's playing a game. It's not as transparent.
I hope that Canada does get. I mean, when it comes, countries are businesses. Okay, we see this in the UK right now. The UK has got a terrible problem with immigration. They have a terrible problem. Their economy's getting hit. Government spending's through the roof. You got to fix that. Yeti said it only took Hawk 35 minutes to get controversial. That's it. Yeti, then that's slow. Usually he's right. Usually I'm in the first 15 minutes. But how does this relate to crypto is the question I'm sure a lot of people are going to ask. Well, it relates to everything because everything's tied together. The economy is tied together to policy, and then inflation. When America does bad, the world starts to fall. You know what I mean? We saw that in 2008 when the market crashed. Europe went down. Everybody went down. You know what I mean? Because of greed and mismanagement of money and all this other stuff. So, I hope that he gets elected. And although I don't agree with everything he says, I hope he gets elected and Elon Musk becomes the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge.
Yeah.
And I hope he puts that right on I hope he puts that right on the stand when he talks. God. That's what he said.
No, I saw that. Yeah.
Look, for someone like Elon Musk, who is not a political guy, and he was always kind of the favorite. He always leaned to the left because he's from South Africa. That's how they are out there. They lean progressive. For him to come out and say, okay, there's a problem in the United States and I have to do something about it. Like, he purchased Twitter because he wanted to save free speech. There was no other reason for him to purchase Twitter and spend $40 billion to buy the damn platform. There was no other reason to do it. And he essentially did. I mean, you couldn't say, you have free speech. I can get on here right now and say anything I want about anybody and be completely fine. In certain countries, you get prison time. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you go to North Korea and you don't clap when the supreme leader walks out, you go to jail.
A whole other problem there.
Yeah, like these are totalitarian type policies that if we don't say something and speak up, these things will be implemented in the future. Not for us because we'll fight, but our generations, they'll get used to that. They'll train them on that, and that's not what we want.
Yeah, we're already seeing. We're already seeing brightness of that.
Just to stay political, one little second. If he gets elected, how long do you think it is before we have like the first hitting of crypto regulation in his administration?
Crypto regulation is inevitable, right?
Well, I agree, but how long do you think before we see something that's common sense reg?
It depends. I mean, common sense regulations already being implemented. The beautiful thing is you got smart people in the game, like the guy who started Coinbase. I can't remember his name, but then you got Charles Hoskinson, Armstrong, right? Charles Hoskinson. They go to Congress. Jack Dorsey, who is very pro Bitcoin, who I really don't like him socially, but he's very pro Bitcoin. Mark Zuckerberg is pro Bitcoin and pro crypto. And a lot of these tech guys are going to go there and they're going to say, no, you have to regulate this way. You can't overdo it. Because we saw what they did. I mean, I talk to Panda often, and how they do things in Canada with crypto is like running a dictatorship. Yeah. Like, I'm just like, dude, like, yeah. I was told Panda, I'm like, bro, open an account here in the United States. You can do it. Open up a TD Bank account here in the United States, and I'll help you. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause it's just like the taxes that you guys pay out there is just insane.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. We like to talk about free healthcare, but we're definitely super over.
America can afford it. The problem is it's bureaucratic. America can afford free healthcare. We have enough money where. So check this out. We gave Ukraine $120 billion, something like around there. Don't get me started. But check this out.
Yeah.
You can end homelessness in America for $6 billion. You can end hunger for $4 billion. You can repair all the infrastructure for $20 billion. Okay. You can repair the grid for $50 billion. Add that up. We sent more to Ukraine. Like, it's insane. We have the money to give free healthcare. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, it's the interest, right? It's always the interest that are moving things.
It's the way that the country works.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying, like, it's just the way that it works. And when countries, Dennis Porter is a great dude. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to bring Amy's comment or his name up because it leads me to my next question. We're talking a lot about the federal politics, because Trump brought it all to light, etc. But Dennis focuses with the Satoshi Action Fund on state level. I mean, I'm almost of the inclination that that's more important. I mean, any thoughts about that?
Yeah,
like
I think
federal
the state
versus state.
I think the federal government has too much reach, and I think
I disagree.
Letting the states decide what they want to do is the whole reason why they're states, right? I'm going to get real controversial for a second. Roe v. Wade was the abortion law, right? A lot of misinformation here. They thought that they got rid of abortion and the right to it, and they didn't do any of that.
No.
All the court decision is that it's not a constitutional privilege. It's not. It's not guaranteed to you by the Constitution of the United States. So if it's not guaranteed by the Constitution, federal government doesn't have a say. So legally, just let the states decide what they want to do. Each state has their own sub-constitution under the federal constitution. Makes sense?
Yes.
Right. They have a state house, state senate, state everything, right? Mm-hmm. Each state's like their own little country. Let the states decide what they want to do. And if should it be a federal law in the eyes of the law? No, it shouldn't be. I mean, do I care whether it's federal law or not? I don't give a shit. I personally don't believe in it, but it should be left up to the states. So crypto, in relation to that, should be left up to the states. The federal government will try to come in. They'll try to say something about it. But then again, they're going to be tied up in lawsuits for 10 to 15 years through the Supreme Court before any regulation really comes out. So we're still good. I mean, unless you get an executive order
Yeah, it just delays progress, right? That's my only problem.
That's the thing. Like Trump says he wants to be the crypto capital of the world. Okay, cool. So you know what you got to do? Cut crypto taxes for 5 years.
Oh,
cut all taxes on crypto for 5 years. Yeah, I'm serious. Cut all taxes on crypto. Subsidize the innovation. Have a department that oversees companies that are trying to develop blockchain tech. Cut the taxes for 5 years. And then you'll be the capital of the entire world. The UAE, look at the United Arab Emirates. They have zero taxes on crypto.
Yeah.
Portugal, I think they still have zero taxes on crypto. Why? Because they know that if the United States is not going to take the helm, they'll rule the ship. In the UAE right now, I mean, if you look at all these companies that are going there, currently, they're making hand over fist, and they're innovating, and they're paying the right people. So, and Mike Portugal is from Portugal. Oh, is he really? Okay, so Portugal must have changed because they were originally zero on crypto to begin with. They might have changed their laws around. So,
well, yeah. I think that if we're going to get common sense federal regulation,
no, he froze up there.
What?
Yeah, he froze up.
Oh, I'm sorry. My internet. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. No, it's okay.
All I was saying was
he's about to say it, and then he.
I give up. I give up.
Go ahead. Try it again.
Try one more time, right? If we're going to get common sense federal crypto regulation, I think it's going to bubble up from the states.
I think that's where it needs to be, because that's what Dennis Porter's doing. He's going to the states and protecting custody. Because if you really think about it, even as a police officer, I can break it down to you even more simple. Federal law says marijuana is illegal. What's up, Arks? Federal law says marijuana is illegal. Completely. There's nothing else. It's just marijuana is illegal. Dot. That's it. There's no like possession amounts, nothing. The states went ahead and made up their own rules.
Okay.
So like in Florida, like anything under 20 grams is a misdemeanor, right? There's no personal consumption in Florida, so we have discretion on misdemeanors. I don't arrest for petty marijuana charges. I usually let it go, right? Because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But if a federal agent was there, let's say somebody from the FBI or the ATF, and they wanted to arrest that guy on a federal offense, they could.
Yes.
This is the problem. There's not going to be enough federal employees to enforce federal law. So let's just say Bitcoin becomes regulated on the federal level, right? First off, the states have to ratify, and then if it becomes an amendment, so then it has to move through the proper channels. This is why bills get killed in council a lot, because they never passed. There was one by Elizabeth Warren, two of them by Elizabeth Warren that were killed in council, never made it to the vote, never made it to the floor to vote. And she's working with Gary Gensler, by the way, and I despise those two. So.
Oh, you don't like Gary? I didn't know that.
No, Gary's terrible, man. Gary, like I said it on national TV because they asked me like, "Oh, Gary Gensler's not a real popular figure in the crypto community." I said, "Yeah, he's not."
Yeah, that's true.
And he goes, "Well, why?" I said, "Because you're killing the industry. Crypto's going to be upwards of over a $10 trillion industry. $10 trillion industry. Okay, that's a lot. You know, that's the economy of a few different countries.
Yeah, combined.
Bradley, thanks, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support. Like, why are we going to take the back seat as a country with crypto? We shouldn't do that. We should look. If you want to be in control of it, okay, no one's going to control it. Number one, I've said this on TV. Everything I'm telling you, I said on TV. But if you're leading the pack and you're setting the standard, then the adversaries will follow suit, because they're going to have to follow the rules that, because if you're going to control it right now, for example, the majority of Bitcoin's hash rate is in China.
Yep.
That's insane.
Even though it's illegal, right?
It's illegal. It's complete bullshit.
Mostly there. Yeah.
It's market manipulation. The Chinese are corrupt over there, but that's in business they are. And that's just the way that they are.
Yeah.
And, they're going to lead the pack. They're just unbanned it. They're going to make a whole thing on it, and the problem is that it's control, right? It's control. You want the Fed to remain in control.
That's the biggest part. And I don't think there's going to be any progression until they have their framework with control. And
they
the
think that they
country
can
that
control it.
succeeds with this without all this control and allows it to actually be what it's supposed to be, like the founding ideas. That's going to be the bottleneck right now, at least for it to grow in North America. Like we already see it happening in other countries like South America.
I mean, look at El Salvador. I mean, he's what, 45 years old. He's president.
Yeah.
He's, I mean, I'm a little younger than he is, but he's our typical, he's in our generation. Like, and he's saying, he goes, no, this is the future, you know? And then, but look, you're talking about something that destroys a whole system that we've had for hundreds of years. You're talking like, I mean, this is complete disruption. And they think that getting it in, making it legal and having big money into it is going to control it. It's not going to control it. And I think once they realize that it cannot be manipulated like they do the stock market, and it cannot be manipulated like they do everything else, that's when the hammer might drop. And I don't know if that day is coming at all, because it's so hard to say, man, because there's so many factors that roll into it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Billy. And the fact that I've heard great stories about people using Bitcoin. I got into an argument on TV once. It was on actually Newsmax 2, which was their streaming platform. Guy was telling me that crypto's only used for illegal and illicit activities.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Now right. I completely destroyed this argument, and I said, okay. I said, hold on. On national TV, I went like this. I said, hold on a sec. I said, cash and gold have been used for more murders in human history than anything else. Okay. You know, and this guy was a little bit left leaning, and we see that on the left, and at least in the United States on the left, they want control. The Republicans seem to be more of the party of deregulation, which is why they support Bitcoin. But the left was like, yeah, we don't want people having control. We're helping you. And no, everything's always under the gauze of, we're here to protect you. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you're not protecting anything. We can protect ourselves. Thank you. Yes. You know what I mean? It's just an education problem. You know, if more people learned how to drive professionally, you would have less accidents. It's the same concept with learning how to do finance. So you'd have less debt, you'd have less bad decisions, and you'd have more smart money in the market.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So when it comes to the control aspect, you know, the government really, really wants to. It's two-sided. It really is two-sided, and it really is split through Congress right now in the United States. Half the House is controlled by the right, and they're pro-Bitcoin, most of them. But if it was up to the Democrats, man, it would have been banned already. And how many good things has Bitcoin done? Less than 1% of all crypto transactions are illicit and illegal for illegal purposes, right? I knew a story of a lady, and I mentioned this story again when I was on Newsmax, because I'm really trying to educate that generation. That generation is like our parents that watch that watch Newsmax. Majority. And there was a lady in Afghanistan. She was married to an ISIS militant, forcibly married, had 2 forced pregnancies. And they used an old school flip phone from the early 2000s, reprogrammed it, and were able to transmit Bitcoin back and forth.
Transactions, yeah. Through
cellular networks. Right? Because that's how easy it can be implemented. And she saved enough money where she fled to the UK with her and her daughters.
Wow.
Because, you know why?
Wow.
Because the central banks control the flow there, and she had no access to money. That's what Americans are fearing, is the control of the money.
Yeah.
Clearly, someone's not steering the ship correctly. The presidents have very little to do with inflation and all that other stuff. They can influence up and down a little bit, but they don't really and they don't really influence a lot of that junk. It's the overspending, you know what I mean? And when you bring something like Bitcoin in the mix, listen, they forced Bitcoin and crypto to be created. They forced it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I can believe
that.
They
forced it. They put people back in.
Yeah,
don't underestimate humanity. When people are put back into a corner, they'll create something to screw you and to make what's better for them. And that's essentially what Bitcoin was. Yeah. On TV, this guy gave me an argument and says, I prefer gold. It's been around for years. And I prefer, something that the government has a little bit of control. I said, excuse me, sir. Bitcoin was created because you guys let go of the wheel on the highway going 100 miles an hour in 2008. You had CDOs, you had the real estate, you took advantage of the real estate market, you crashed the economy worldwide. You took advantage of working people. So what happened? The working people banded together of some of the smartest minds, and they created something that you can't control. I said, get over it.
No, they will never get over it. That's
And I said, you guys, and he was a banker. I said, you guys are to blame for what happened, not anyone else. You blame yourselves. Because in 2009, that's when the Genesis block hit, and that's when Bitcoin started, and that's when the snowball effect started, and that was that.
Yeah.
And if they think they're going to control it with the markets, they're wrong. Sorry, go.
No.
No. I'm sorry. I know we might wrap up a little bit. We're almost an hour here at this point, but
I can go a long time with this. Man.
We also want to give you a little time between streams here. There.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go live at 9.
Streams.
Yeah.
But okay. What do you think if you had to give a piece of advice for someone just coming into the crypto space? How to get involved? How to get on the right track? What would you say to them?
Ask me the question one more time. I'm sorry.
So somebody brand new to crypto, they're watching all this stuff. They're hearing it talked about in presidential politics. They're just like, what the hell's Bitcoin? What's crypto? If you had to give them a piece of advice to point them in the right direction to start their journey, what would you give them? What would you say to them?
Go learn from the mistakes of people who lost a lot of money.
That's a good advice.
I'm serious. I have a video.
I'm with you.
I've seen, we've seen it. Come on. How long have we been in this now? Like a few years. Like I've seen people close facilities, lose their houses, mortgage their stuff, and like do crazy. I mean, I did. I paid it in cash, but the majority was in cash. I put like 80 grand on credit cards, which I don't recommend to do. But like, exactly. And yet he said it the best. Don't spend what you can't afford to lose. Yep. Just take it take it slow. I mean, I had actually a consulting call with Terra, and a guy called me and he asked me, it was a while ago. He's like, hey man, I want to start crypto mining, but I don't make a lot of money, but I really, really enjoy the tech. What can I do? I said, all right, well, I said, you have a computer at home? He goes, yeah. I said, you got a GPU in it? And I said, yep. I said, how many GPUs you got in your house? He goes, I have 2. He had like a 2070 Super like sitting around. I sent him, I'm not trying to give myself kudos here, but I sent him a TB360 motherboard, right? And I said, here, I had a bunch of them from that massive purchase I made like a year ago. And I sent him, I said, here, just try it. Here's a power supply, try it, load this up. Here's a video on how to do it and try it. Calls back. This is the plot twist. Calls back, says, yeah, man, I just don't understand any of this. I don't get it. But hey, did you spend any money? Now you know. Did you spend any money? He's like, no, man. He goes, you want your motherboard back? I said, nope, you can have it, man. And I think he sold it or whatever. Yeah. But I think rant more. Yeah. I think I just think that, don't expect to make large sums of money. Don't make the same mistake I did. However, it worked out. What happened for me, I was lucky. That's it. I was just lucky. I got into the YouTube space right around the same time. I got into Misfits. And then I met Mining King, I met GPU Risers, I met all these guys, and we kind of just formed this relationship and bond with each other, and that's what really helped me grow and get to where Terra is at now. Mm-hmm. My story may not be the same as your story. It could be worse, could be better.
Yeah, sure.
Just don't look at everybody else and think you're going to do the same thing. It's very, very different. Know how to read a power bill. I mean, oh my God. Again, that's another one I can go for an hour on, and what not to do. Don't take out loans. I had a guy buy Caspa ASICs. Had a guy buy KS3Ms when they came out. He spent his life savings.
Oh, geez.
And I said to him, he didn't say it to me when he bought it. He told me after the fact. He spent about $40,000. I said, why did you do that? Because, man, I'm just trying to make it. Man, I'm just trying to make it. I was like, brother, why didn't you just ask? Why didn't you just say, hey, I got I'm investing my life savings in this, so I want it to work. I would have stopped you dead. I wouldn't even have sold you the fucking units.
Yeah.
Right.
I was honest with him. Yeah. If I was a scumbag salesman, I could have doubled the sales for Terahashes by now. I'm serious. I've talked people out of buying shit because that's not where we make our money. We make money hosting the machine. So I don't know. But
you got to be truthful with people. I mean, I'm sorry.
I think it pays dividends.
Yeah.
I might lose the sale. I might lose the commission, but I sleep very, very well at night.
I think that's important, man. And, yeah.
That's just me. So point is, I know I kind of got off topic.
That's all right.
Don't spend what you can't afford to lose, and take it slow.
Also read. do a little bit of research before
That
you get
too,
into
yeah,
anything.
that too. Yeah.
DYOR, baby. That's right.
Everyone's just jumping on the hype wheel, investing in. They're not even sure what they're investing in, and all of a sudden they're blowing $10,000-$15,000 just like that without even thinking about it.
Exactly.
Dude, it
And in
goes
crypto,
fast.
Money disappears very, very quickly.
It goes so fast, dude.
Amen to that.
You'll spend $2,000 on a motherboard.
Yeah. Thank you, Billy. Honesty wins long term. Amen.
Hawk, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. I appreciate your time.
Man.
Really good time. Really good discussion. Got a little political there.
That's all right.
I know where you stand. That's for sure.
It's important. Well, it's important for everybody to get political. I have my comb here. It's important for everybody to get political because it's so important to the future of crypto, where we vote and how we vote. You won't have anything to mine if they come down hard.
Absolutely.
So
voicing the concerns is the number one thing. I totally agree with you.
100%.
Again, thank you very much for coming over to Matrix Money Podcast. Hope everyone has a good day. We'll see you next week.
Hey, and don't forget, go to Hawk's live stream tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I got to schedule it. I haven't scheduled it yet. 9 o'clock.
All right.
There you go.
Take care.
Take care.